just kind of think here, I'd probably use 2 more of those wash lights just because this is a wider area. I would kind of use the wash lights to highlight this side of the house a little bit. It'll help highlight these windows a little bit. You'll get a little bit of reflective light, but the nice thing is the wash light's a very soft light, so it's not going to give you a ton of light, but it's just going to give you a nice balance, especially with the wash lights you have up here.
Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca, or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for the Lighting Doctor.
Hey Rich, yeah, thanks for your email and your pictures here. I'll give you a couple ideas. I think a couple challenges, but I got some good ideas for that. And then, you know, with the trees and stuff along the back, I mean, really what you want to do is you just want to use some accent lights. Sorry, I'll just get back to the home page here. It really depends when you're accenting those, what you have around them. So if you have a bed, or it's not an area where you need to like run a mower and all that, I mean, just a standard uplight like this is great. The reason I say that is if you have to put these in the grass and you're going to be mowing around them and all that, you don't want something sticking up that's going to become a maintenance headache. And you can basically just use an in-ground light like this, that they give you the same effect. The only difference is this can go right in the ground now, and you can just mow right over it. So it's a nice option. But otherwise, I mean, any trees that are I'll call it, 15, 20 feet or under, just a standard uplight like this works really well. If you have some of those larger trees in the back that are, call it, over 25 feet, then you probably want to upgrade to like a 35 watt equivalent lamp. So it's 5 watt LED, but all it does is it pushes that light a little bit further. One other thing that you had mentioned is that like some of those trees are maybe along the back fence. Now, I know they're not here, but I'll just kind of show you an example. But a lot of times what I like to do, if they're along the back fence, it's nice to be able to light those against the fence, because then it kind of creates some shadows of those trees against the fence. If they're taller, it doesn't really matter, but if you have some small stuff, what I like doing too against the back fence area like that is using like, whether it be an uplight or whether it be a wash light. So if it's a small plant under 6 feet, I like using a wash light to kind of highlight that against the fence, create those shadows. But I would just do that. And the real key is you just want to try and evenly space those lights, what we call perimeter lighting. So it's not even a matter of that you have to light every tree along that back fence, but if you can just kind of create some kind of consistency with how you're lighting those with some uplights, that's really all you need to do in a back area like this. If I look at the front of the house, the first challenge I see is obviously you got concrete here, so we're not putting any lights in here at this point. But I think what you could do, because you have some nice second story features here that most people wouldn't think to highlight, but I think it can really set you apart when it comes to landscape lighting. And to show you kind of a quick example, it's not exactly what yours would be like, but how not a lot of people will go to the depth to highlight those areas, but it can really make a house stand out. So what I might do, we have these I'll just show you, we have these gutter mounts, basically these little stainless steel brackets that fit right in the gutter, and then you can screw the light right in there. And usually what we'll do is we'll just run the wire either inside or behind the downspout, and then what I would do is I would mount one of those uplights kind of in the gutter here that's highlighting this peak, and then you can usually just run the wire up along the roof line. Nobody's going to know it's there except for you. And I'd probably mount another one in this gutter that's kind of highlighting this peak. I think could look really nice. And then for these dormers, what I would do is I'd probably use a wash light. So it's just not as bright as an uplight, because you don't need something too bright on a small area like that, but a little wash light like this. And I would actually mount those in front of these dormers so that it highlights the dormers. It's going to be a very soft, subtle light, but because there's nothing else there, you have the darker roof line and you have the white trim on these dormers, is really going to make them stand out. And that would be something that I almost guarantee you there's not too many people in your neighborhood that would think of, but it really set your lighting design apart from everybody else's. And then along this side here, this is where I would probably use, just kind of think here, I'd probably use 2 more of those wash lights just because this is a wider area. I would kind of use the wash lights to highlight this side of the house a little bit. It'll help highlight these windows a little bit. You'll get a little bit of reflective light, but the nice thing is the wash light's a very soft light, so it's not going to give you a ton of light, but it's just going to give you a nice balance, especially with the wash lights you have up here. And then when you have some trees like this is where I would just throw an uplight on this guy. I probably wouldn't do any path or garden lights or anything like that in here. I think if you can just, subtly wash the back of the house, highlight this guy. If you wanted to put another wash light, 1 or 2, to highlight maybe, the statue and maybe 1 or 2 plants in here, that's what I would do. I just find you get way more bang for your buck out of using some kind of accent light wash light than you do from a path and garden light. In the back area here, I'm not too sure how much you want to put around the deck. I mean, I will show you a light that I really like using, is these Hardscape lights, and I'll kind of show you just an example of how I like using those on a deck anywhere I have kind of a undercap area or anything like that. This is on the inside of the deck, but I like even just bordering the deck a lot of times, where I might put, and you can even do them under the rail. You just kind of run the wire up there and down. Even if you have to if you can access here, you can even just drill a small hole, throw it down there. Nobody knows it's there. And sometimes I'll just highlight, I'll throw a couple of those along here. It highlights it from the outside, but then it also gives you a little bit of light on the inside of the deck too. So that's something you can do. Plus it's going to give you a little light on the stair areas too, if you have one over here. So it kind of just highlights that as a bit of a, we'll call it a tripping hazard. So that's something I would do around the deck. Yeah, kind of like I talked about here. This is a really good picture. If you can, and you know what, I talked about using a wash light here, but I might actually just use a regular uplight, because I think it'll do a better job of kind of showing the texture that you have on the siding, getting that light a little bit higher. And then I would throw a wash light like kind of on this, nice, I don't know if those are roses or whatever. I'm not much of a flower guy, but I know they look pretty. So if you can highlight that with a wash light, and then like I said, your uplight over here. Kind of talked about the front area already, talked about the deck area. Again, another area where I would just throw an uplight on a tree like this. I love the purple foliage. It really stands out. And you could do that there. And then, like I said, again, maybe you have that deck and rail light over here. You don't need one over here because you're going to have more of a uplight on that tree. But yeah, I mean, pretty basic, pretty simple design. I mean, you could throw, depending what you wanted to do here, you could throw a couple path and garden lights. What I tend to like to do in an area like this, I'll refer back to this picture. Obviously this is a little higher, but same kind of thing. It's like they have the same kind of small bed here, but instead of using just a couple path and garden lights, here we chose to use some accent lights to just kind of gently highlight the house, but then it also it kind of helps highlight the soffit areas and makes that stand out. And I think, where do we go here? And I just think that's a better effect if you had 2 or 3 of those that kind of lit this area here. So anyway, Rich, hopefully that gives you some good ideas to get started. Let me know what you like, what you don't. We can customize a kit for you. You can always go and play around on the website. Just add those different lights that I talked about in your cart. Because we're talking about some gutter mounts and that kind of stuff, we can definitely help you out with that. And depending on the number of lights, we can also help you size the transformer, make sure you have enough wire and all that kind of stuff. Just just get back to me with your thoughts and we'll go from there. 2 other lights we're going to use on this project. These again are 2 of my favorite lights. We're going to be using a LF wall light. This is going to be a nice barbecue area, and they're going to have a nice stone tabletop on here that's actually going to lean over and cover this. So really all you're going to see is the lighting effect on the stonework on the base of this. I like this light because you can tuck it just about anywhere and it totally disappears, and all you really see is the effect. So we've basically got 4 of those around this barbecue area. And then the other light we're going to use is we have a nice pergola that we're going to have some hanging lights that we're going to feature on the top of these. We're only putting 2 because we don't need to light up the whole area. We're just trying to create a nice ambient light. So that's why we've chosen our VE hanging light also for this project. So again, 2 of my favorite lights, and we're going to use them in this project also. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property.
And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.